I'm Shannon Milks, registered dietitian with Norwest Co-op Community Health Center and also with the HANDS-KAI program. With the HANDS-KAI program, we really focus on proper nutrition and healthy eating, and this is highlighted through in a variety of ways. First, we talk about good nutrition and provide nutrition education as part of the HANDS-KAI health schools, and then we also provide support for groups when they're choosing healthy snacks or when they're sharing different recipe and meal ideas. What commonly comes up is questions around how can I save money? How can I add in different ingredients to really get more nutritional bang for my buck? And how can I get more of those veggies and fruits, which we always hear about. We need more and more of the vegetables and fruits in our diet because they're so good for our health. So here with us today, we have staff from the Norwest Co-op Community Food Center. We have Abby Legaspi, who's a food skills and cooking programmer, and community chef Grant Mitchell. They are going to do our recipe makeovers today. They're going to take you step by step on how to prepare some of these meals in a healthy way, and I will leave it to Grant and Abby. Take it away.
Thank you, Shannon. So for today, I'm going to show a wild blend paella, or in my language it's called paella, but today I'm going to use wild rice, brown rice, and quinoa. So why I'm using this? Because these are all healthy, lots of protein, and as well as a lot of fiber. So we're starting by heating up our oil. So I just added a little bit of oil for sauteing. So I have here olive oil, but if you want to use canola, that's fine, but I prefer using olive oil because it has a different taste, to the food.
And it's Mediterranean.
Yes, it's true too.
Paella.
So I'm going to start, with sauteing onion, a little bit of onion, maybe 3 cloves, that's fine.
Garlic.
Oh, garlic. Yeah, garlic, right. And 1 whole onion. And tomatoes. Since this is tomato based, we're going to make use of probably around 3 to 4 whole tomatoes. So I have the wild rice and the brown rice there that's been pre-soaked, so it takes like 30 to 45 minutes before it can be cooked.
Right.
Now I'm going to add the quinoa for later, maybe 20 minutes before it's cooked. So I'm just going to add here some protein to the dish. I have here leftover chicken, and that's all I have. But if you want to make something from scratch, maybe fresh chicken, I will always choose the breast part of the chicken, more white meat, so more protein again. And if everyone in the family is okay with the shrimp, so shrimp can also be added. Or if you're using beef or pork, the same thing as well, you can put that. But always, if you want it to be lesser fat, so choose for the leaner.
I guess a lean cut would also cook quickly.
Yeah, that's true.
As opposed to a chicken thigh or something like that. It would take quite a while. You're using my leftover chicken thighs here.
Yes.
Excellent. And that's just it. We scoured the fridge and we found these leftover chicken thighs, and they're perfect for this dish. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And whatever you have in the fridge, you can use that for this recipe.
It doesn't have to be chicken. Doesn't have to be shrimp. You don't need chorizo.
It can also be a vegetarian option.
Yeah.
Because we already have protein here by using the wild rice and the quinoa as well. So that's it. We have the meat there. And now once it's already simmering a little bit, you can add at least 2 cups of water on the pan, and then let it simmer, and then let it stop.
No, often I would use something like stock for this, but you may want to advise against, I'm just saying, store-bought stocks because of the sodium.
Yeah, that's true. So as much as possible, try to use something natural. Probably if you did soup the other day, you can use that leftover soup or stock, or just plain water will be better. And then because of the herbs that we added and we're going to put in here, the spices that we're going to put in the recipe that will spice up your food. It will have more vitamins, more minerals.
We'll
as
be
well.
adding flavor, basically.
Yeah, and flavor as well. So we're just waiting for this one to boil, and once it's not spoiling, now I'm going to add quinoa.
I called it quinoa for years.
Quinoa.
It's not quinoa, it's quinoa.
It's quinoa, which I really like.
Yeah.
And I also did salad for quinoa, and it's really, really amazing. So once we have the quinoa boiling soft now, we're going to add our vegetables.
Great.
And all that I found was carrots. I have spring onions or green onions, you may call it, and as well as bell pepper, green bell pepper.
Fantastic.
Yellow can be also used, or red, or whatever you have at home, but I prefer using green because it is tomato based, it will be red, so adding green to that will add a contrast to the color.
An artistic decision.
Yes, making it more appealing. And then the herbs that I'm going to add as well will be saffron leaves,
Wow.
which will give it an oriental taste, a different taste. But if you don't have this at home, you can just leave it. You don't have to put it. So, starting with that saffron leaves, and then I'm adding the carrots now.
Carrots are cut small so they'll cook quickly.
Yes, that's right. I cut it thinly because I'm adding it for last.
True, and peppers just need a little bit of heat too to kind of soften them
true.
up. They'll be good to go. They'll add a lot of flavor too.
Yes, that's true. I like pepper.
Very
And
nice.
then I'm just adding a little bit of spring onions, and then I'm going to add this for later,
Okay.
just to make it more appealing. And then now I have the bay leaves.
Couple of bay leaves.
Yes. And here oregano, some dried oregano.
Could you add other spices, do you think? I mean,
Yes, you can add, for example, paprika, just to make
Yeah.
it more Spanish.
Yeah.
And some people for paella, they also add sausage, Spanish chorizo, right?
For sure.
But I don't like using that because it has a lot of fat in it, so
yeah.
I skip that part. So
Okay.
I just added chicken. And you can also use mussels.
Shellfish,
Yeah.
seafood, that kind
Yeah,
of thing. Yeah, you've got
seafood,
shrimp in
you want
there,
to do
so
that?
the ocean's represented. Excellent.
So I have everything in the pan now, so we're just going to wait for time for the rice to be cooked, for the quinoa to be soft, and we're just going to double check from time to time if we have enough water. So if you think that's getting dry, and if you think that you need to add more water, don't hesitate to add more to it. Anyway, the quinoa will be absorbing whatever water will be left there, so don't worry about that having a lot of fluid. So.
And the brown rice and the wild rice, they're hard to overcook.
That's true too.
And also, you know, the great thing is that you can always just taste a little bit, see if it's the doneness that you like, and you know, and then you can gauge your cooking that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've noticed I didn't put salt into that food because
I did notice.
we have leftover chicken which has already flavor
Yeah.
before, right? And I also added a lot of spices and herbs, so I don't think that there's a need for the salt to be added to that.
Cool.
And it will just take maybe 30 to 45 minutes, and I would just have to come back to it and check. So I think this is done.
Beautiful.
We can take our paella.
You can eat it.
But you know what? In my language, this is called paella. You pronounce the L.
That's
It's very hot.
it's good to know.
Isn't it? Very. One shrimp?
That's it? I was kidding.
It's
I
only
got a
for
shrimp. I should be thankful for that. All right, let's try it. The chicken's fallen apart and gotten sort of spread
Yeah.
out through everything.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So what do you think?
I think it's really delish. It's really good. Yum. Wild rice, still nice. It's got a bit of chew to it.
Mm-hmm.
Flavors are bright and Yeah, it's fantastic.
I like the texture of the wild rice as well.
Yeah, everything combined, and I think that's sort of the what you're after in a paella or paella is all the flavors combining and everything being cooked together. I think that's the essence and soul of this dish. Bravo.
Yeah. And it's very easy to make as well.
So Abby and Grant showed you how to make a wonderful wild blend paella. And so this is a really well-balanced, all-inclusive meal. It was a one-pot meal, really quick and easy to make. And so you'll see here that some of the grains that were used were all whole grains. There was wild rice, there was brown rice, there was quinoa that some people may not be as familiar with cooking, but it actually only takes about 15-20 minutes to cook the quinoa. And it's again, all three of those things, the rice, the wild rice, the brown rice, and the quinoa are very great sources of fiber that are really going to help us keep us feeling full. And you can make really large quantities and then use them for leftovers and other things such as a veggie burger. In addition to the high fiber grains that are included as part of this dish, you can see that it's tomato based as well. So it's got lots of good tomatoes, which are rich in lots of different nutrients, vitamins, and minerals. And Abby decided to use water and add in lots of different flavorings and seasonings rather than using a higher sodium chicken stock. This is something that you can do at home. You can add in things like onion, garlic, oregano, all different types of herbs and spices. You can even use garlic powders or onion powders instead of onion or garlic salt. And that's gonna help to reduce the amount of sodium that you're adding to a lot of these dishes. And so you can see that it was still very flavorful with using a lot of those natural herbs and spices, whether you use them fresh or dried, it's up to you, whatever you have kicking around in your pantry. And you can also add in any vegetables. You can see that they've added in peppers to that dish. The more colorful vegetables that you can get, the more different types of nutrients that you're gonna get as part of your overall health. And the other thing that was really important there too is that you've added in some protein by adding in things like either shrimp or chicken or pork, and you can choose lean varieties of that. So you can choose pork or chicken that's boneless, skinless, that doesn't have a lot of that extra fat on the outside. A lot of processed meats, things like chorizo, things like sausages, a lot of our processed meats, sausages, pepperoni, they have those little white flecks of fat in them, and that is saturated fat, and that type of fat is actually less healthy for our health. It can actually raise our bad cholesterol, and so by choosing lean cuts of meats, by using healthy cooking oils like olive or canola, safflower, or sunflower oil, those are going to be healthy options for when you're cooking rather than using more of the saturated fats as well. So this is a good example of a really high fiber, high protein, low fat, lower in sodium dish that was prepared today, and it was absolutely delicious.